Hola! Today we're going to be talking about El Tiempo, which you've probably seen this before. We've used this with the hace que stuff, so cuánto tiempo hace que. You've seen the word tiempo with pasar tiempo con amigos, like spending time with friends. So tiempo does mean time. However, it also means weather, which could be a little complicated, okay? So we are moving on to El Tiempo with weather. Okay, the first topic that we need to address are las estaciones, or the seasons, okay? This word does look like it would be stations, which it does mean stations as well. So las estaciones referring to el tiempo would be seasons. Okay, here are the 4 seasons. Let's see if you can guess what they are before I finish drawing. So we have el otoño, and from the colors you might have already guessed that this is fall or autumn. Okay, we have el invierno, which is winter. We have la primavera, or spring. And then we have el verano, or summer. Okay, there are a couple of ways to ask what the temperature is. So the one that we're going to teach you right now is ¿qué temperatura hace? Okay. Another one you might see is like ¿cuál temperatura es? Or ¿cuál es la temperatura máxima or mínima? All right, so you're going to hear a lot of different things for that. The first way to answer this question would be using hace, because that's in our question. So hace blank and then grados. So you just fill in the blank with whatever temperature it is. So hace 18 grados, okay? The other way that you might see this is la temperatura es, and then fill in the blank with whatever temperature, okay? And that's also on your sheet as well. The vocabulary associated with this is just la temperatura, which obviously is a cognado for temperature. We also have maximo and minimo. So you would use these when discussing the maximum and the minimum temperature, so the high and the low. Keep in mind, if you're using them with temperatura, so you would say la temperatura maxima or la temperatura minima. And then we also have el grado, which is just degrees. Okay, now when you normally see a thermometer, it has both degrees Celsius and degrees Fahrenheit. So we use Fahrenheit in the United States. However, in Spanish-speaking countries, you are going to see Celsius. Okay? Because of that, do I expect you to be able to convert these temperatures? Not necessarily, but should you be familiar with how to do it? Yes, and should you be familiar with if you see a temperature in Celsius, is that either, kind of hot or cold, or kind of in between? So I would be familiar with that. And the way that you would do that is just by using these formulas that are on your paper. Okay? So they are already written there. And what I would like you to do is just to convert 2 temperatures that I give you to kind of figure out if it is more of a chilly temperature or if it's hot. Okay? So the first one I would like you to do is, let's say that it is 95 degrees Fahrenheit out, okay? I would like you to figure out what the Celsius is. And then also let's do maybe 11 degrees Celsius and figure out what the Fahrenheit is, okay? So complete both of these formulas and let's see if you get it right. Okay, for the first one, 95 degrees Fahrenheit, you should have gotten 35 degrees Celsius. And for 11 degrees Celsius, you would have gotten 51.8 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay, so 35 degrees Celsius, pretty warm. Okay, 11 degrees Celsius, a little chillier. Okay, so just keep that in mind as you're kind of seeing these temperatures, and if you happen to hear what the temperature is and you're watching the Weather Channel, look at the Celsius too. Okay, so pay a little bit more attention to it. Okay, on the other side of your paper, we're going to talk about how to actually discuss the weather. So, ¿Qué tiempo hace would be your question, what's the weather like? Okay, a couple ways to do this. The first one that you're going to see there is going to be using hace itself to answer, so your first blank. So hace, and then you're going to include a weather expression. Now, you have quite a few of these on your paper, so we need to go over them. Okay, the first one you have is frío. So when you say hace frío, it means that it's cold. Okay, and you've seen some of these words before, like calor. Hace calor, it's hot. Hace fresco would be it's cool. We have hace sol. So sol actually means sun, but when we use it with hace, it takes on the meaning of it's sunny. We have viento, which means wind, but when we use it with hace, it means it's windy. And then we have buen tiempo, and then mal tiempo. Okay, now you already know buen, good, mal, bad. So buen tiempo just means good weather. And hace mal tiempo would be that it's bad weather out. Okay, the next one that you have is using the word I with a noun. Okay, now you learned I last year and it means there is or there are. Okay, so for example, neblina is actually the word for fog. Okay, so saying hay neblina would be there is fog. Hay sol, since sol means sun, literally hay sol would be there is sun. And kind of another way to say that it's sunny. We have hielo, which is ice. Okay, so if there's ice out, you could say hay hielo afuera. We have lluvia, which is rain. And then nieve, which is snow. Okay, the next way to talk about the weather is using está with an adjective or a participle. Okay, so está meaning it is. And then the first one we have is nublado. Okay, so nube is a cloud. Nublado means cloudy. So we have an adjective here. Remember, sol is sun. Soleado is sunny. So remember, we can also say hace sol for it's sunny. So this is just another way that you could do this. And then some participles for you. We have nevando, which comes from the verb nevar. And it means snowing. So está nevando, it's snowing. And then we have the verb llover, okay? And then we take that and form our yendo, lloviendo. It's raining, está lloviendo. Okay, and then these two are going to be used to emphasize that this is happening right at this moment. Because our last one here is actually just a weather verb. And on yours, you have nevar. And you'll notice this is an E to an IE stem changer, which means to snow. Okay, now you don't normally say I'm snowing like nievo. Okay, so really you're only going to be using nieva. So it's snowing. And we have llover, which you'll see is also a stem changer, an O to UE, which means to rain. And once again here, you don't normally say I rain, okay? So you're really only going to be using the third person singular, so llueve. So it's raining. Okay, remember, to express that something's happening right in this moment, to emphasize that, you would say está nevando, but you can also say nieva. And then está lloviendo or llueve. Okay, so real quick as an example, if the sky looked like this outside, we'll call this número uno. Okay, just for some quick practice. And número dos. For número uno, if the sky looked like this and I said, oh, ¿qué tiempo hace? What's the weather like? A couple different things that you could say. You could say hace sol. Okay, you could say hay sol. Or you could say está soleado. Okay, and on the right side, if it was just cloudy out, so you can take a look at some of your expressions on your sheet. Which one would probably be the best here? We really only have one. Está nublado. Okay. All right. That is about it for weather. The best thing that I can recommend to learn these weather expressions is to memorize them. Okay, so get studying. Adios.